Hello and welcome to the Four Shark. Wait, huh? What? Welcome to the 4 o'clock shadow. Hello, Walter. Hello, Mr. Danley. Uh, man, it'd be hot out there. It'd be cooking on the sidewalks. What can I say? Well, let's see. Hot coffee on a hot day. What are you gonna do? Brought to you by I like to call them Wiley's till somebody called me out. Weiler's Light, Island Punch, Blue Ocean Breeze. I don't know about that one. I think this is it. I don't know. I mixed up several of these things to keep myself hydrated, right, and for work and things. This may not be the one. Not the one. Not the one. Omer Glitch in the house. Yes, it'd be hot outside. Yeah. Let's see. Yes. Let's see. Just respond. Just got a ding. I don't know what that's about. Ding, 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 ding. Let's see. This is bringing up everything I want except what I want, which is, but I've been contacting people, contacting some people, and I have some news. Let's see. Wink. Okay, that's probably, no, that wasn't. Okay. There's Shadowhawk. Just got home. Be there shortly. Thank you. That madness is streaming at the same time as Rex. That's just crazy. Well, I mean, Monday Madness is, I mean, Pops wants to go 24/7, with his Madness network. So he's going to overstream the 4 o'clock shadow. What is madness, I think, now is having a launch at 4 o'clock Central, when this show starts. But who am I to, Oh, and you know what? As soon as Shay gets in here, I need to go in there and get that Treasure Comics because I responded to uh, someone, Dr. Mask, that I would be showing that book today because he posted that book today. What am I talking about? I'm talking about this book right here. If I can find it real quick. Something went wrong. But don't fret. It's not your fault. Refresh X. Do I feel refreshed? I don't know. I feel put off. How about that? Oh, and I had a misnomer the other day. I'll tell you about it. I know. Isn't this just quality entertainment waiting on my computer to work? And the computer in the sky keep on, give it more than one task. Like breathe, breathe, breathe. Elsie, I did send you the link over there on Facebook. Uh, do, do, do. There we go. Treasure Comics, 1945, number 5. I have a fairly decent copy for the age of the book that I bought off eBay years ago. But here is the cover to Treasure Comics number 5. And I actually have the guts to number 6 with a very nice trim to size cover replacement on it. Uh, you know, which is pretty neat. So Treasure Comics number 5. Give me 5 minutes. Okay. Let's see. Omer Glitch. I was going to send you the link. A little bit behind on sending out the links. I had to go to the bank, deposit my check I got in the mail, and today is Katie's, from Katie's Corner, son's birthday, Deacon. So happy birthday to Deacon. I'm trying to write. I think we may have Roland Mann on from Silverline Comics tomorrow, and we will have Mr. and Mrs. Good Stuff on Wednesday, so that'll be a lot of fun. And I have multitasking, not my favorite, folks. I should have had these links out there, but I just set this up and then had to go to the bank, and so I'm back, and everything's pandemonium on a Monday. But you couldn't pick a better day. There you go, Omer. I gave you the link over on X. Lined up Mike Gustovich coming on August 2nd again. I will be hosting the Rex Hicks and Apex show, so Mike will be joining us that day. For how long, I don't know. He asked me for how long. We may not go 2 hours because we went 2 hours last time. The man's got valuable time, so we'll see. We'll see what he wants to do. I said the time's up to you. Maybe 2 hours was too much for him. I know 2 hours with Apex and Hex is too much for me too. But, I couldn't think of 2 better fans to ask Mike some questions, some geeky questions about Mike's work. Hey man, anybody that did a stint on the Avengers, I'm good with, even if it was a bad stint. I'd totally forgotten Mike had gotten to draw the Avengers for a little while. I'll have to look that up further on eBay. Okay. Oh yeah, and Carrie sent me a stop screen there on that one. from Christian Zappo's YouTube channel. He just posted 2 hours ago or somewhere abouts a new trailer for his Kickstarter. So let's take a look at that real quick. Thank you, Carrie, for sending that to me. If you're listening, mucho apreciado. I know you like it when I speak Spanish. There you go.
Out in the dunes where the sandstorms scream, a Dax runs wild, living the dream. Horns like a crown, eyes sharp as a blade. King of the desert, never afraid. Born in the heat where the sun don't
also on Indiegogo.
He takes, he's built for it. Swift as the wind with a heart of fire. A Dax the hero, lifting spirits higher. A Dax, ruler of the sands, carving out justice with those mighty hands. Through the storm, through the fight, he'll stand tall. A Dax, the desert's call. Villains tremble when they hear his name. He's got no time for their twisted games. With a leap and a charge, he's breaking the chains, turning the schemes into dust and remains. From the oasis to the canyon's edge, he's a spark of hope on a razor's ledge. Guided by honor, his soul's untamed. A Dax the legend, forever acclaimed. A Dax, ruler of the sands, carving out justice with those mighty hands. Through the storm, through the fight, he'll stand tall. A Dax, the desert's call.
Another Western. Chosen One Productions. Wow. Yeah, that music, huh? Mm-hmm. Thank you, Carrie, for sending that to us. Appreciate mucho apreciato, as I like to say. I know Omer, loves that. Jason Bascom says, not Mars Attacks with this drawing, just a doodle. His doodles are off the chain. So let's take a look at one of the most recent things that Jason Bascom did from Unhinged Comics. And he will be on Topic List with Luke tomorrow night. That's cool. Like the one, well, it looks like it has multiple teeth. That might be doing something weird there off to the right. Here you go, 1978, 77 Star Wars years and 78 new shows from Memory Locked. Welcome, Shadowhawk.
Hail, how you doing, sir?
Good. This is what some of us were watching, Captain K, man, and
Yeah.
and these other shows. Looks like Three Stooges are there, and I remember the dogs that were detectives, and it looks like maybe
Yeah.
I can't name a lot of these, but I'm sure I watched a lot of these. Looks like a lot of Hanna-Barbera stuff there.
Yeah, it does.
Sid,
Yeah.
maybe that Sid and Croft, live thing. I don't know what that is, but
Yeah, I'm trying to see it. I can't really blow it up. Oh, you know what? It looks like the robot from Lost in Space almost. Mystery Island. Remember Mystery Island used to be on Banana Splits, I think.
yeah. Now that was earlier. That wasn't been like late 70s. That would have been early 70s with Mystery Island. And that was live action, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think I've actually maybe got some or seen on YouTube. I might have it on
Wasn't that the one that had Chongo in it? Uh-oh, Chongo.
They used to do like a few years ago, Hanna-Barbera released on DVD some sort of variety things like that had a smattering of, things that they had done just to show you the variety of different cartoons they had. They'd pick out certain episodes just to represent that series. And, you get a big smattering. And I think Banana Splits was in there, probably with Mystery Island too. And I know that in the 60s, probably the first live action and animated together, they would start out live action, then go to an animated cartoon, and then go back to live action, was Three Stooges. That was in the waning years of their career,
Yeah, I vaguely remember Stooges cartoons. I didn't see a lot of them.
I've got a Paw Bears, Hong Kong Phooey. Now that was a little bit earlier, Hong Kong Phooey. I have the complete Hong Kong Phooey, Quicker Than the Human Eye. And I misspoke yesterday, Shadowhawk. I misspoke.
What's that?
I said I was on season 15. I have breezed through season 16, and now I am on 17 of Gunsmoke. So
just cruising through there.
So just a few more seasons and I'll be done with all 20, which ain't no small feat. Let me tell you. I mean, they're Matt Dillon size feet, and that ain't he was a big guy. So or Glenn Strange here that played the bartender, and now he's gonna disappear here pretty soon. I don't know what season, but he's gonna actually die. In real life. So
Glenn Strange, that's the same dude that played Frankenstein in a couple of movies,
right? And that was the model for the Aurora kit.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I got to do this because I got to go in there and I got to get that Treasure comics to show. In fact, I'll grab both of them. Maybe a small handful of Treasures. I do need to redo this and put some more comics over those. So we will play T-Bunny's trailer, which is already every time I play it, guarantee it'll probably, when you put the cursor over the episode, it'll be his trailer. I don't know why. He's put crack cocaine or something in his trailer that it comes up every time. I mean, it's virulent. Maybe somewhere in there he put some Viagra. I do not know. But, it's always, up there. Okay. And I don't have to share screen on that. I'm trying to do this, folks.
Our brethren are already in the field. Why stand we here idle? What is it the gentlemen wish? What would they have? Is life so dear, or peace so sweet? Has to be purchased at the price of chains and slavery? Forbid it, Almighty God. Others. But as for me, give me liberty or give me death.
Ooh, Rex was a little slow getting back there, so I shall try to dance monkey dance for a moment. August Aesthetic, that's a good question. Maybe we can have somebody Google that or something. I'd like to know who played Plastic Man too. I forgot about that one until you mentioned it. Pretty cool.
You need to mute myself, or well.
You were muted until the video ended.
But anyway. share stream. What better, Shadowhawk and a chair? So I apologize, Dr. Mask. I had to look for it. I thought it was there. Been trying to organize a few. I don't know if you heard earlier, Mike Gustovich will be on the Rex Hex and Apex show.
Oh,
Maybe
cool.
I can get Hex to do a little thing with all our faces and our guests, like he usually does. If I give him enough warning. And Mr. and Mrs. Good Stuff will be on with us Wednesday.
Oh, excellent. I
And,
haven't seen the
and
good stuff in a while.
tomorrow we may have on Roland Mann from Silverline Comics. So we'll see.
Cool.
I haven't solidified that yet, but we'll see if he can.
Okay.
Hey, August, how are you? You mentioned series that have both cartoon and live action. I remember Plastic Man had that combination. I wonder who played the live action Plaz. I don't remember that, but I do remember the Plastic Man cartoon. I don't remember the live action part of that.
Yeah, I believe it was kind of like the Three Stooges type thing where he would come on and introduce the cartoons, maybe do like a little skit, and then
Right.
they'd show some cartoons. But yeah, it's a good question. I don't know who the hell played that guy back in. He was a good Plastic Man though. I mean,
But now they didn't do the live action, did they? Every time.
I don't remember for sure.
This is what archaeology will find. An archaeologist will find in 500 years. Isn't that true? Silicone lips, silicone breast.
Yeah.
OnlyFans.
Big boobs and an iPhone in her hand.
Well, at least it didn't look as scandalous as that Pompeii guy.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, trying to get a little action before the end of the world.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that was, maybe that was his paradise. I don't know. That's this last one. Trying out the new backdrop. Josh Howard says for you got to have a good backdrop when you go to conventions. You don't know what you're going to be covering up. Wow, look at that table. Sort of that faux wood grain. Although that looks, well, that's probably his floor. That's a nice floor. That's actual wood. I thought maybe that was a table, but that's probably the flooring.
Yeah, no, I think that's wood floor.
Yeah. So nice, and I don't know. Would that QR code actually work if you scanned it with sort of ripples in it like that? It
It
being
should.
like a curtain.
Yeah.
I guess
I think it would
just
probably
picks up
scan it.
enough part of it to actually scan that. That's amazing, actually, that you can do that. That it doesn't have to have all the information actually to pick it up.
Right.
Shadowhawk is correct. The live action Plaz appeared for only a few seconds at a time. Okay. Yeah, I don't remember that. I don't not the live action part. But it's only been 50 years.
They never showed him like, stretching or anything. It was just a dude in the
Right.
suit with the sunglasses, but
as we said yesterday, hail to the master of the martial arts who died 52 years ago in 1973, Bruce Lee.
Oh,
And the world keeps on spinning.
Yep.
Dave Barden.
Nice to have him around for a while. Though.
Dave Barden, he puts up these villains, little cartoon, like here's the Rogue Gallery of Green Lantern, and they've had some pretty weak characters with the Green Lanterns. Not as he put up a Wonder Woman recently, and I thought, how sad a Rogues Gallery for Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman does not really have a great Rogues Gallery, and I mean, they if you go back to the 60s, there's some goofy villains.
I always liked Cheetah, but they screwed her up in that new movie. So.
Well, I mean, that's that's Cheetah's about the only one. Yeah, 1984 movie. I watched that.
Yeah. Oh,
I'm shocked with a lot of other people, and maybe I wouldn't have picked up on it so much, but there's YouTube chatter about it, about the CGI looking so bad, and it did. It's
yeah.
amazing that after George Lucas and Industrial Light and Magic changed movies after Star Wars, um, that we don't get a better movies. I mean, we're actually going the opposite direction with some of this,
Yeah, I mean,
movie making
some of it's just
fakery.
cheaping out on the
Yeah,
budgets, but
yeah. But I
but
mean,
dude,
how
I
they
mean,
think that the
especially
fans are.
after I'm sorry, but I mean, after that first Woman movie, I liked that movie quite a bit.
Oh
I thought
yeah,
it
I
was
think
all right.
everybody did, and
Yeah,
but I
and that
mean,
second
to
one was just
deliver.
terrible. It was ugh.
Did they ever do a second Aquaman movie? Because that was well received. Because I think they really put a lot of stuff in there, green screen and stuff,
I, I'm pretty
to
sure
show
they
you
re
underwater life and stuff.
yeah,
Did
I'm
he
pretty
have a
sure they released
sequel?
the second one. That was the one that had that Amber Turd in there, and they didn't cut her out.
Oh, I don't think I didn't see that one. See,
No, I didn't watch it. But
yeah, and
yeah, it is out.
I mean, I'm Limp Biscuit when it comes to the character of Mira. She's like I mean, her claim to fame is like she married Aquaman back in the '60s, and that was one of the first, if not the first marriage, probably one of the first marriages in comics. But big whoop de doo. She controls water. I guess she could be a badass character, but to me, yeah, I don't know. I guarantee you, my Aquaman Sea Demon, he's going to be badass. I mean, he's got bone blades on his arms and legs. How
Right.
badass is that? Uh, apparently, Christopher Reeves voted #1 best Superman action actor of all time for DC by DC fans. Absolutely, he's hard to beat. He's just got that look, and he was a great actor, I think. August says, I think that it was not the comics, but instead of the Plastic Man cartoon that introduced Baby Plas. But if they subsequently adopted Baby Plas to the comics as well. I don't think they did, but I could be mistaken about that. I mean, there hasn't been very many Plastic Man books, and the only Plastic Man book that maybe took them seriously, maybe at the beginning somewhat, was Police Comics when he first came out, or All-Star Squadron. He was all serious in that, no joking around. And I like that he's played as a serious character. You can have levity and add levity to any comic story. And I did like him in the Terrifics as well, which when the Terrifics came out, they said that was kind of like DC's Fantastic Four. I did like that series, read the first few of that series and actually have a graded 9.1. I thought it had a double cover on it or something whenever I bought it. It doesn't. It has some kind of gatefold cover or something. I don't know. That was on #1, but I do have a very nice copy of #1. That's graded. Kind of misnomer of why I bought it, but it's glad to have a good one if it goes up in price. Mike Wilson art. This piece, A Savage World, Heather Swain for your saucy Sunday, says to Ethan. His Heather Swain reminds me of George Perez artwork for sure. Very nice Heather Swain.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Very
Does
nice.
it kind of look like to you, perhaps, George Perez artwork? I always look at the faces. But yeah, that looks pretty tight.
It's got a little bit of a Perez feel to it, I think.
Mm-hmm. I think that's probably one of his inspirations. Midnight Short going over 101 views, so she's over 100, and Bog went up to 80
Wow.
So he'll
All
be
right.
going over 100 pretty soon. And Devil Flyer Short is up to 134 views. So
Oi, oi,
just
Carrie.
Carrie, thank you for. I think that's the thing you sent me, right? We played that. That was the very first thing that I shared. Probably before
Oh,
you
Carrie
got
sent me
in
a
here.
link for something earlier too. It's something. Who is Feliz or something like that? I
Okay.
don't know if it's the same thing she's talking about now or not.
Somebody did this piece, and yes, I mean DC and Marvel, they could make so much money if they would do stuff like this. Man Thing versus Swamp Thing, you know.
Oh yeah. Oh, dude, they would clean up.
If they just did kind of what they did, having characters battle other characters, but all the characters that they battle are Marvel characters. If they did something like that as when they were moving to LA, their headquarters from New York to LA, that's basically all they did for that year's crossover, that continuity or whatever it was. Convergence. It was called Convergence. That's what it was called.
Oh,
If
okay,
the
yeah.
and basically, I got the trade paperbacks on those. I do have some of the floppies that have some of the nicer covers that came out with that. Excuse me. But if Marvel and DC could work out a thing where they just do a year of mashup, you know, where they battle, they would make so much money.
Yeah.
Yes, I
Well,
show
last
the
time what they
Christian.
do, the Amalgam comics, I think those sold pretty darn good
Right.
back in the late '90s, mid '90s, wherever that was.
Exactly. Yeah. Sent
Ahoy,
two links to
Ryan in
me.
the house.
Okay.
Hey, Ryan James.
Did I spell recesses right? RECESSES. Recesses.
Yeah, sounds right.
Meanwhile, in the deep, dark recesses of my mind, I've actually been wanting to use that for the last 4 or 5 days, but never did. So, you know, I used it today. I pride myself on my titles. they may only be cool sounding, but you know, I try and
Right.
you know be interesting. I showed Treasure Comics. I did say to Dr. Mass that I would show it. I would show his. I actually have this book, and that's Treasure Comics number 5, which is kind of neat underwater, you know, type Flash Gordon, Buck Rogers feel to it. But look at
Okay.
in that issue, Marco Polo, you know, public domain, Paul Bunyan, Arabian Night, and Dr. Styx. Dr. Styx would make it on the next issue's cover. And I actually have a number 6 with a cut to size, very nicely printed replacement for the cover on the cover list, basically, that I bought around the time that I bought this one. I love the logo, Treasure Comics, with the little hidden treasure at the bottom of the sea with the gold balloons,
Doubloons?
Spanish, whatever. Can't say it right now.
Maroons.
Yesterday was Michael Clark's birthday. You might not know who he is, so let's show some examples of his work. All Star Squadron, which I mentioned earlier. Loved All Star Squadron. I want to complete. I'm just like Eric and Boyd. I want a complete collection of this one having the Monster Society of Evil. One of the latter issues. Mike Clark was the artist, along with Arvell Jones doing the inks at this time. This is 1985 because you see the big 50 up there. DC turned 50 in 1985. Special Crisis crossover issue here. Here's another piece done by him, another All-Star Squadron. Not necessarily on the covers. I don't know if these are his covers but he did the inside. Now this one is a cover done by him because I see his signature.
Hey, Apex in the house.
Looks like a Dazinga artwork. I mean, inking on this one for sure. He's very distinctive. Mike might have did the artwork on that one. I don't know, but he definitely did the one on this. I can see his name. Another one, All Star Squadron.
Well, I think I had that one.
And the last one. So, I mean, Roy Thomas, you couldn't draw for a better writer, right? With all the retro heroes. This one having the 7 Soldiers of Victory, which had, you know, some of their B-listers, you know, like Vigilante. Some backup story characters, Stripesy and Star Spangled Kid. But yeah, I would like to have all, I think 67 issues. I don't know. Monster Society Evil. Hey, Apex, hit the like button. Absolutely. Hit that like button every time you come in. If you haven't subbed to the channel, please sub. I can't, I'm going to ask Mike Gustovich if he subbed to my channel or not.
Like, sub, and share.
Did you sub? I need all the subs I can get, Mike. Please help a guy out. But Mike will be back on this channel on the next Rex X and Apex, and that'll be August 2nd on Saturday. And however long he wants to stay. I won't hold him to 2 hours, you know. But if we can get him for another 2 hours, you know. But Apex, I know you got some questions for Mike. I know Hex Allen will have some questions for Mike. I'll try and look over his history and comics and have some fresh questions for Mike. It should be a gay old time. The Man-Thing cover you showed is pretty good, but my favorite swamp creature has to be Solomon Grundy. Yeah, see, they could put Solomon Grundy in there as the villain.
Now, you know what? Did they ever put Solomon Grundy up against Swamp Thing in any of the issues? I don't recall it.
No, that's something that somebody came up with, but it's, you know, DC and Marvel could get out. They could be selling gangbusters if they would just do a year of battles between the characters, like, you know, maybe the universes collide or something, and there's big mashup.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. Think up of at this point, just think of a weak ideal to get them together, and then have them battle and put some top artists on it, and it will sell.
Well, from what I heard, the reason they hadn't done it in a while was because of Quesada when he was in charge, because he had something against DC.
Him and the guy over at DC, Didato, they both hated each other, and yeah, that's why the last mashup was just George Perez's Justice League and Avengers, and that was the last, and that was at the beginning of the 2000s. So it's been a long time, 20 years, and there's no reason for that. I mean, if you think about it, starting with the big Treasury editions, Spider-Man and Superman meeting for the first time, et cetera, et cetera. You know, they had drips and drabs, you know, from the 70s to the 80s to the 90s to the early 2000s to that last mashup. But they, and like you said, amalgamated that too. They had not a lot of crossovers, but they had enough to, they've got to see the sales figures for that stuff. It had to be pretty good, you know, certain series drawn by certain artists. Why they never put top artists, like, I mean, often, you know, like the Treasuries were pretty solid. You know, they were big events. But why not put Neil Adams when he was alive, or some A-list artist to do? Now, he did do the Superman Muhammad Ali Treasury edition, and I'm sure that sold really well, you know, back in the day.
Yeah, I imagine.
Marcus Killigrew in the house.
Yeah, Marcus says, I'll draw it. There you go, Marcus.
Edwin will be joining us in August. Edwin will be on with us the 4th.
Awesome.
And to tout his new thing. And like I say, I'm trying to get Roland Man on tomorrow. Mr. and Mrs. Good Stuff will be on Wednesday. That should be a hoot. And I did reach out to Val Merrick to try and get him on. I reached out to Bob Layton to try and get him on. That may not his central time, him being sort of over there and living over where does he live? Somebody said the other day, is it Korea, South Korea? I'm not sure where he lives, in the Orient somewhere.
Oh, yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, Solomon Grundy was Alan Scott's foe, but there was the great story in Showcase where Grundy fought the team of Dr. Fate and Hourman. Yeah, I had that one, or think I do have a copy of that one.
South Korea, he said. Yeah, I hope it's not North Korea.
South Korea. Okay. Yeah, so I don't know about Bob Layton's time, if he, and he hasn't confirmed anything, but I did reach out to him and Val Merrick and a few other creators.
Wow. I wonder what made him decide to move to South Korea. Interesting.
Well, I mean, I know he does a lot of shows over there and stuff, and he's doing a lot of commission type stuff for people because he posts that stuff on X all the time. Which
Hey, man,
back
I
in the
guess
day,
you go where the money's good, right? Yeah.
Where I first, I mean, Bob Layton, he did, stuff in Iron Man, but I looked at Bob Layton as primarily an inker. Although he did that Hercules series that was really good. And he did that cover. I think Bob Layton did the cover to that Galactus one-shot origin issue that came out in 1982, I believe. I think I might have sent you a copy of that, Shadowhawk. I don't know. It might have been that I sent Elsie. Because everybody should get that, the origin of Galactus,
Yeah, I think you might have sent that. You might have sent that to Els.
I think I probably sent that to Elsie. I only had 2 copies of it, and I bought those.
That's no big deal.
Fairly recently because I had to replace mine, of course.
Oh man,
that's one I like to look up and get every now and then. I don't think you can have enough copies of that. That's just Galactus is one of probably my favorite galactic baddie. I hope they treat him well in this new Fantastic Four movie.
Right.
Yeah, there you go. Marcus Killigrew. He could do a good job on a Man Thing versus Swamp Thing story for the Big Two. But I mean, we can dream all day long, but the Big Two is going to do what they want to do. They're going to get Pride Month. They're going to get Asian appreciation. And all that. They've done that in the past. They'll probably still continue that for a while. You were mentioning Shane Davis. Shane Davis kind of puts it, when it comes to that, like the Dynamite story and what's going on with Diamond, he's kind of got his finger on the pulse of what's going on, still.
Yeah. Shane's been keeping track of what's going on with those guys pretty close.
Mm-hmm. The winner faces the ball. There you go. Yeah.
Well, yeah. Royal Rumble, Fog, Swamp Thing, and Man Thing all at the same time.
Yeah, well, we were talking about taking like Doc Blaylock's Gollum character, taking my Bog character, taking, people have been calling for a swamp creature mashup, like that. And with these indie creators, we can do that. There has been some crossovers within CG books and some of the independents. I like that Shane kind of keeps up with the latest news. There are some out there. Galactus better not be gay in that Fantastic Four movie. Yeah,
he better not be.
Of
course, he is wearing a purple costume. I don't know.
Frog G, of course, from Unhinged Entertainment, Ink Spots, and Jason Bascom. Launching, I believe on the 8th. So, and
should be
Jason's already
he's
already reached out to me. So, because they're looking right now for channels to go on and promote Frog G. So he'll be, of course, we're going to have them on. I said, any day you want, because I don't really have that much, scheduled.
Right.
Because the only person I do have scheduled for August right now, and he's been scheduled for a while, is Edwin with the Ace.
Yeah.
Edwin Buzz Acevedo.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to Edwin's next one. Oh,
Yeah, if they ever did a drawing stream, Bog, where I want to be there, but now I can't do evenings. This is a Jack Cole cartoon. He did some stuff for Penthouse, maybe Playboy, before he ended his life. He was the creator of Plastic Man. Here's one of his cartoons right here from Jack Cole. She says, "I'm worried, Doc. You've examined me, but now can't look me in the eye and say anything. Doc, are you listening?" That's how Casey Kasem married his wife. She was quite busty, kind of dabbled in acting, never really hit anything big, didn't, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think she was a very good actress. She was just a looker.
Yeah. But you know how, what her test with men was, and she said Casey Kasem was the only one that could tell her. She would pose a question to them, kind of like the ancient Sphinx. If you Sphinx Gate, if you answer this question, you can pass. If you don't, you die. Well, I don't know that she was a manslayer, but Casey Kasem got her eye color right, because she would ask them, "What's the color of my eyes?" And most men, no men except Casey Kasem, could tell her the color of her eyes because they were too busy looking at her chest all the time.
44 double D. Blue.
Yeah, Homer Glitch would have been killed. He would have been knocked out of the first round. I know what he would have been. Legends of the Superheroes that came out in 1979. Adam West was once talked about this 1979 TV special that came on, and Adam put his head in his hands and said, "Oh God, was that bad?" So let's take a look at let's take a look at this opener here for that. And I
Legends of the Superheroes. Shazam! Captain Marvel fights a never-ending battle against evil. The Green Lantern has the ability to perform amazing feats against evildoers. The Huntress fights the Flash. This crime fighter is swifter than the speed of light, fleeter than the rapidity of thought. Great earth-shattering sound waves, the Black Canary fights a relentless battle against criminal injustice. Incredible gymnastic skills, Robin, the Boy Wonder, is Batman, the Caped Crusader has...
There's Adam West. Do you remember Legends of the Superheroes? Came out in 1979, appeared 3 times. Yeah, yep. Doc Blaylock in the cartoon. Which one was Doc Blaylock? Asked Jason to come on Rex 6 and Apex on the channel of October 4th. Okay, that'd be great. They're definitely promoting. So yeah, Adam West and Burt Ward, they reprised their Batman and Robin persona in this.
Pledged his life to fighting the forces of evil.
Here he is, ladies and gentlemen, Ed McMahon.
The greatest supervillain of all time, Ed McMahon.
Now that was cold.
Now that's the Wizard Wizard.
How cold was it?
We're introducing, ladies and gentlemen, Ghetto Man.
Hi, Mama.
Don't argue, Robin. To the Batmobile.
Say, Batman, it's such a nice night. Why don't we walk?
Walk to a crime?
I guess you don't know your own street.
Wrong. Grundy, no.
There you go. There's your solid Grundy there. Grundy's makeup pretty good, actually.
Yeah, it's pretty decent.
Remember Solomon Grundy?
Right.
That was Lee. Hi, kid.
It's me.
Think about the honeymoon. Couldn't that get to be a little dangerous?
Well, Rhoda, that's the chance she'll have to take.
The Atom and Giganta.
Thanks, boys. Wait for me in the car and keep your motors running.
Well, you know who that is? That's Ruth Buzzy.
Oh,
Tell
yeah.
you why I'm here. I'm looking for husband number 6, and it is going to be one of you. I'm covered. Okay, everybody, line up. Come on, real fast.
The world's fastest man.
Pass. Shazam!
Oh, the world is a mess, but nevertheless, it's entertainment.
Can you imagine that? Phew. Yeah.
I don't
sure
think I ever
ate
saw
up.
that.
I've got vague memories. You know, you want to
Yeah,
forget
I-
something like that.
I
real
missed that one somehow.
big. Legendary comic artist Paul Gulacy featuring Nick Fury and Black Widow right poster. The poster art illustration of Bob Peck for the film In Like Flint, 1967. So,
Oh, cool. Good movie.
mhm. Yeah. So here's Paul Gulacy's piece.
Nice.
Nick Fury and really the George Perez created costume, I think, for got OMAC, a DC character in the background. See that? On a Jack
Oh, yeah.
Kirby. I don't know what OMAC is doing there.
I don't know. That Shang-Chi? Wow, they got him in there even.
Yeah, Shang-Chi, either that or Bruce Lee. But now here's pretty much the same pose with In Like Flint.
Yeah.
With James Coburn, sort of capitalizing in the 60s of the spy movies, you know, James Bond movies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think there
Halloween?
was were there 2 Flint movies? I think it was Our Man Flint and In Like Flint, I think. But they were both pretty good.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Halloween is just coming up, you know, around the corner, a few months away, folks. You know, here's some
Ooh, Devil
vintage
Lantern.
stuff. Devil Lantern, yeah.
Scary. Blinking?
Blinking right up
Better not
pendant
blinking.
with the there you go, matchsticks.
Holy smoke.
Closed cover, holy smokes, supply company. Welcome to hell, holy smokes, supply.
Very nice.
I guess these were like stirs, the things on the right there.
Yeah,
these
like drink
little-
stirs. Yeah.
Little devilettas there or whatever.
Devilettes.
Devilettes. Yes, Inkspot says, do you have a channel? We want you to want us on. We would love to come on and promote the book if you'll have us. We're available anytime after August 8th. Thank you ahead of time. Give us a shout, he says. Let's get the hot
I don't
train
think I
going.
ever saw the TV movie, or if I did, I didn't realize it was an actual Flint movie.
Huh. I don't know that I've seen that.
Yeah, and the only ones I remember are the ones with James Coburn. I didn't know there was somebody else that played Flint. Interesting.
Yeah, and I mean, years later, 1976, they must have been
Yeah.
hard up for.
These covers are looking good on Prog G, man. Looking, it's gonna be a fun campaign.
Yeah, this is the variant cover number 2. something going on with there up in the corner box, with Jason's normal. Looks like he sprouted horns and a beard or a large goatee. But yeah, very nice. Frog G. You can sign up right now, and I'm sure you get something special when you sign up.
First one was a nice looking book. I
Jason's
don't think
really
I've
into
actually
sending secret
gotten to
news.
read it yet. So, oh yeah.
Don't forget the Drummond character from Deadlier than the Male. Don't know that I've seen that either. Actually, James Bond was on like a TV special, and he was American. He was depicted by an American art. I actually have that. First James Bond before Dr. No came out. Now we have some Frank Frazetta of Vampirella, because you like Vampirella. We were talking about that the other day. Doesn't get much better than Frank Frazetta.
Nope. No. Although I do have a very nice poster that Joe Jusko did back in the day. It's,
oh yeah, there's been
nice.
some great artists, through Vampirella, and Frazetta was one of them.
Mm-hmm.
She looking a little thick. I can't, nothing
Yeah,
wrong with that.
she was a little thicker back in the day. I think when they brought her back in the 90s, they slimmed her down a little bit. But I mean, it's the aesthetics of the time,
Wide birthing hips. I'm there.
I'll meet you at the what?
Exactly. Jack Kirby, Captain America. There we go. There's something actually going on in this panel, right? I mean, that's the problem with all these talking head new things. There's not enough of this going on. What have you been doing today, Shadowhawk, besides just working? Just kind of
working my ass off. Playing in fucking waste oil all day, fucking trying to fucking recover a bunch of waste oil and get it ready to be shipped out for recycling.
Look out, that first cigarette you have may be a doozy. Make sure you shower before.
This shit ain't catching on fire, dude. It's mixed with water and crap and all kinds of other shit. It's nasty. All damn dead.
How was traffic on the way home?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Was traffic a beast today?
55-gallon drums. Yeah, traffic sucked too. We had a chemical truck on the highway that apparently had a leak or something. So they had to send out the cleanup crew. So they had 3 of these big giant like snowplow trucks with the arrow signs on them, blocking the middle of the highway all the way behind this truck while they were cleaning up this spill. So it took me an extra almost 40 minutes to get home today. It took me an hour and a half. Ridiculous.
Yeah, it happens. It's frustrating. I know.
Yeah, it just sucks. After you have a long day and you're just trying to get home, and then you're just stuck in stop and go traffic on the highway. It's like, yeah.
Medieval Spawn here. Did you like Medieval Spawn?
Yeah. When he first came out, I liked Medieval Spawn. I got a bunch of the Medieval Spawn figures. I got the gold variant.
When did he first come out? Was it like in the Capullo first run in the 30s?
It was probably like maybe second or third year of Spawn, I guess. Yeah, like once Capullo had taken over. I think that's when Todd started dropping a bunch of the variants, like Medieval, and Angela came out around then. Well, Angela was actually earlier because she was part of Todd's run, but he fucked up with that because he got sued by what's his name.
Let's take a look at some 1977 Star Wars year covers. Comic covers are what help sell it. Why wouldn't you want to buy this book? I mean, there's a lot going on.
Oh, yeah.
But you know what? You could look across the room and kind of know what's going on. Somewhat.
Yeah. Wow, you even got the Star Jammers up there. Look at that. Cool.
Yep. That would have been pre John Byrne and Terry Austin on the book. And great George Perez cover. I mean, why wouldn't you want to buy this? The Lethal Legion. So you got the Lethal Legion in this one. This might be their first appearance. I don't know. But I always like Whirlwind. The Bio Beast. The Hulk going up the Bio Beast. I believe this is the Ernie Chan cover.
Mm.
The Incredible Hulk Unleashed. And then a great Gil Kane cover here for the Defenders. He did a lot of these Defenders covers.
Yeah.
You know, this is a fairly late one with issue 52. Issue 50. Well, I take that back. One of the first, you know, I told you that I was going to say that issue 50 that was all done by Keith Giffen. He had like Klaus Janson and other inkers on the book inking his stuff, but he did the inks on his own work on issue 50 where they go up against the Zodiac. And I love that book. That was my first Defenders, but I want to take that back. Actually, my first Defenders was number 15, a very early issue that had Professor X in there and the Brotherhood of Evil at the end of it, I think. It was a two-parter, and I never got the second part because that was one of the books that my neighbor got when he broke his leg. So I got a very early Defenders, and that was one of the first Defenders. And I'm trying to think. Sal Buscema book. He did the interiors to that. I love Sal stuff. Made a fan out of me right then and there. But yeah, Gil Kane did a lot of those Incredible Hulk stories. Love that stuff. Here's a Frank Miller cover for you. I bought a whole bunch of these years ago.
Oh, yeah.
Because they were Frank Miller and black sensitive cover there.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I picked me up a couple of those.
And what if the Avengers defeated everybody? Hell yeah. That is a Michael Golden cover.
Yeah.
From the first run on What If. Michael Golden cover.
And I got this one.
Yeah, it's a good one. And another Frank Miller cover here, I believe. We want Peter Parker, the Spectacular Spider-Man. And one of the rare, you don't see this very often, the word balloon encompassing the logo.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
You know, if you look at this pose, that's a classic Spider-Man Ditko pose with the leg and everything and arcing.
Hey, Elsie, welcome back, buddy.
Star Wars. Boom, 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 boom. That's very menacing.
Star Wars-y action.
That's very menacing, you know, classic Doctor Doom type pose for Darth Vader there. Hey, Elsie. Happy Monday.
I'm sorry, Roxanne. I think I sucked up too many of those fucking fumes today, man. I'm not feeling very well.
Okay.
I'm gonna call it a little bit early tonight and just hang in chat because I keep coughing and not feeling my best at the moment. So I'm gonna go ahead and say hello.
Grime off of you?
Yeah, go take me a nice hot shower. And I'll
that
be
may be it.
I
mean, your skin does absorb that stuff. That's why I'm very careful.
Oh, dude, man, and this shit was nasty too. It's like, I mean, the fucking asshole that was supposedly had my position before I left, right? One of the last things we did before he retired was he had me put this machine away in a storage container outside. This fucking piece of shit never emptied out this giant evaporator unit. So it was still filled with like 175 gallons of oil and water that sat there for like 2.5 years, just stewing in the heat. And I didn't discover it until last Friday. I opened this thing up and went, no wonder it weighs so much. It's fucking got 400 gallons of water in it.
Yeah.
But it's not water. It was water and oil and just by the time I got down to the bottom of it, my little portable pump wouldn't even work anymore. I had to do it by hand because it was so thick that the pump wouldn't even pick it up.
Sludge. Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
fucking horrible, man. Yeah.
That's
Welcome to
a
my
good
nightmare,
way
people.
that's a good way
Anyway,
to gunk up the
yeah,
works.
so I'm probably gonna grow a third arm out of my forehead or something by morning. But
Cool.
anyway, guys,
Can
I
make
will
sure you make
talk to
tomorrow's
everybody
show.
tomorrow.
We'd like to see you.
Love you guys. Sorry I got to bail early, but I'm just gonna keep on coughing here. I can feel it. So I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Hello.
Hello. Those comics I just showed were from 1981. Here's a few more from 81. There we go. Fantastic Four. Part of the John Byrne run. Ego, loved Ego, the Living Planet. Came out of Thor back in the day. Here's kind of the Bob Layton era of Iron Man. Bob Layton cover here with Terry Austin on the inks. Gotta love that with Ant-Man. Anything with Ant-Man. Great split cover. Marvel team up with Iron Man. That's another Bob Layton cover. Hopefully we can get Bob on, but I'm not going to cross my fingers. I believe Defenders 100. I'm going to say this is probably Don Perlin cover with Al Milgrom on the inks. Don Perlin did a lot of stuff. Don Perlin was the first, one of the first artists that I was exposed to. Loved his Werewolf by Night. Going back a little bit, 1966. Why don't we just take a look at some of these? Incredible Hulk. Herb Trimpe cover. Cronus, Master of Time. I don't think I've ever read anything with him in it. No, he made a few appearances. I actually bought this one, one of my early ones. I thought this great Chemistro was a pretty neat looking character. Luke Cage Power Man. This may have been the very first Power Man I bought. I didn't buy very many of them, but this character here that could change like concrete into quicksand here, like on the cover and other things. Pretty interesting design character. It intrigued me enough to buy it. Nova. This looks like it might be an Al Milgrom inked. Perhaps, maybe. He did so many covers. Got some nice Kirby Crackle there, number 2. Don't think I bought any of the Nova ones. And then here's a Gil Kane, Black Goliath, number 5. He got his own short run series, although it ran for a good little bit. Kind of neat, just the size differential in between Giant Man and the Radioactive Man, or it looks like Radioactive Man. I don't know if that's Radioactive Man or not, but compared to the small little figures there in the corner, that's pretty neat on the sizing. Gil Kane could compose a very cool thing. You're right, Apex. Bombshell in her heyday, along with Sybil Danning, Jane Mansfield. Yeah, sad about Jane Mansfield, how it turned out for her. 1976. Now that's really when I started collecting. Really started collecting. Never got to see this issue. This great Dave Cockrum issue with the Phoenix coming up out of the water, so iconic. Never got to see X-Men. They just never came on my stands till later, till John Byrne was doing it with Terry Austin. Did buy this one, of course, Everything Avengers. We're talking so early. I started with, this is issue 152. I started with 147, which was a Rich Buckler cover. This one's a Jack Kirby cover. I actually have probably a near mint copy of this one. Spent this one, they kind of bring back Wonder Man from the dead. Got some Voodoo going down in New Orleans with Black Talon here, I believe is the character's name. Always disappointed when George Perez wasn't doing the covers and the interiors, because he did the interiors to that one. Another Gil Kane cover here. Just, it's wonderful how much he just packs into. I love oversized villain covers where, you know, the villain's not really larger than the heroes, but it just makes for a big menace on the cover. Doesn't matter if it makes sense or not. Another Gil Kane cover here. Champions. Love that exploding cover with the figure there. So cool, where the heroes are flying out. I like that white and red costume that the Angel had in the Champions. I thought that was one of the better costumes for him. Keith Pollard's first Marvel art is in Black Phantom 5, Black Goliath 5. Really? Okay. I think I have one of those. It's just not in that great a shape, you know. But I did not know that was Keith Pollard's. Keith Pollard, a great artist. 1977 Star Wars year. Let's go up a year. Here we go. We got Sandman here and the menacing the man called Nova. I think I actually had some interior production art, a production piece, probably the splash page to this issue that I sewed at one point. Another Gil Kane cover here. It's just amazing how much he just packs into that. I just hated that Power Man. This is one of the later issues, 47. He had a pretty good run. One of the few black, you know, leads in a comic book at the time. Conan the Barbarian. So cool. With, I'm sure, John Buscema artwork. Sauron on that cover. Looks like another Gil Kane cover. Upturned nose. Gotta have upturned noses. Spider Slayer. Marvel Tales this being a reprint, but using the original cover, but with a cover redesign, of course, somewhat. And from 1978 going up 1 year. Moonstone. Well, I was, and this is a direct, you can tell. Early direct book. I had the chance of, when I was gone to Atlanta, I think I went into a Walgreens and they had a Moonstone. Now the box wasn't in that great a shape, but they had a Moonstone that you could buy Marvel Legends figure for like $5. I didn't have the $5, and you know, I didn't like the damaged box either. But Moonstone, very obscure character. Here we go. We skipped one. Jack Kirby, Devil Dinosaur. If I saw these things, I don't remember. You know, I probably did and thumbed through them and just passed it up. Another guy, John Buscema, Conan. Power Man and Iron Fist. I remember one of the, when Iron Fist came in later issues, Power Man, much later, had an early appearance of Sabretooth. That was my first outing to see Sabretooth. Hey, Elsie, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, Rex. How are you, buddy?
Pretty good. You've been painting? I know we were talking last night.
No,
You were painting while we were talking on the phone.
Yeah, I was painting. I've been painting a little bit, but today, but I was at the dentist when I tried talking earlier, and it just started spinning on me. So I said, I'll wait till I get home.
Oh, yeah. Sybil Shepherd probably would have made a great Red Sonja. I don't know. If you're giving her red hair, I don't know if she would have looked good in red hair as Ginger or not. Oh, and how you color it.
Barbara Bach might have made a good one.
Alex Ross saying Justice League Mailroom. Don't miss this exclusive fine art print premiering next week. at San Diego Comic-Con 2025, booth number 2415, and online, so you can get on the wait list. Very nice piece done by Alex Ross. Going to be a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. If you want the links, I can send you the links to it. Love Alex Ross's stuff. LZ, you sold a book for $180, and there was another auction you said that hit about that number. That's what did you sell for $180?
Marvel Team Up 14 with Spider-Man and Invincible. It was a newer Marvel Team Up, not the
And
old
why do you
Marvel.
think that was a hot book that not even on your auction, but other auctions, it's going for so high right now?
Because Invincible's a real popular character.
And didn't you say that there was an animated something out there, or movie?
They said that there was it was done not on TV, I don't think, but it was done online somewhere. Streaming online somewhere.
Okay, yeah, I haven't been watching it.
On the book. They said something on the book about it, but I
kind of like back in the day when Incredible Hulk was on TV, they would say, check out, TV sensation. Incredible
But
Hulk.
I just listed an official Invincible handbook and the free comic book day. I put them on the auction together. See what happens.
Yeah. I mean, on some of those auctions, you can win out and you can lose out, I don't like the uncertainty, but something like that, you can. Yeah, start them up for what the minimum you're willing to take, Don't get a taker, you don't get a taker. But sometimes some of those auctions, they can get in a bidding war and really drive it up there. But you said that there was another auction for that book that they got about the same price as you did. I think that's when Walmart was running those bundles, right? That's where you pick that book up, where they had buy a bundle for like $8 and you get so many books. And I don't
4 packs. They had 4
You've done very
packs.
well with those. I was buying the 100 pagers for sure, trying to get all those for 2 years through Walmart. But the packs,
you know how I found out about certain books? I found out about certain books because there was actually a website for people who collected Walmart books, and they were showing what you could get, and it's all right, brother. They were showing
Apex says, is that Invincible Iron Man, or is that just Invincible?
Invincible,
the Image character. Yeah.
And
Maybe that's their first crossover. I don't know. Maybe that's why it's so hot.
Yeah. But I know since he's been on, his show, he was a hot commodity there for a while. Might still be. It seems like it. So I'm gonna take advantage and sell my books. I don't care nothing about him.
Oh, absolutely. Did you know that they made a board game? Milton Bradley made a Columbo board game. Wow.
Well, I can pull you out a nice X-Men game that I found. I found it at an estate sale. And the only thing it had never even been opened and played, but a dog chewed on the corner of the box.
Ooh, okay.
But it's got pewter figures, and man, it's a pretty cool looking game, man. I did find these books, man. Remember these?
Oh yeah, we were going to talk about that. Yeah. So you got a whole set.
I got a set of these different ones. They're cornerstones of freedom, and then look at that, the front and the back are. It's pretty cool. And that was Star Spangled Banner. Now they have different dates on them because I think this was like you order them,
Yes, volume 2 at least, the Marvel Team Up, not the original Marvel Team Up. Yeah.
Kirkman did. He was in the Invincible. You're right. Isn't that what he was asking?
Well, he said he was the creator of Invincible back in 2005. Yeah, it would be
Yeah.
like a volume 2, volume 3, or whatever. I don't know how many Marvel team up
You got some
series they've had.
cool war, type historical.
Oh yeah, U.S. Arizona sunk at Pearl Harbor, right?
Yeah. And they tell, I mean, these are all like history books. I mean, you learn, and they're illustrated. Let's look at one. You can see the illustrations. I don't even know the age of this book, but they were all started in 1965. I've got one from 1965. I've got some from 1970, 68. This one here is from 1970. There. So I think they came out. They're illustrated,
Mm-hmm.
Some of them have a little color in them. Some of them don't. Like this one hadn't had a little color, but
Right.
some of these had a lot. Had like
Little
red.
single cover with the black and white. Yeah, a little tanning there with it. Cool. And what's the title of this one?
The Story of Monticello.
Very cool. And
Thomas
both of
Jefferson.
them have the same on the back. They did them all the
This one
same
has
way.
something different.
Okay, so like a
Let's look at
wraparound. That's
these
a whole
others.
wraparound.
Oh, this one here is just blank. The Arizona one.
Huh.
And this one isn't. It's got the same on the front and back.
And what's the title of that one?
The Story of Bonhomme Richards. Richard, not plural, Richard. So that's the 4 of them. Here's another one. Now this one's pretty cool.
You picked these up at an estate sale a while back.
I paid like $3 for the set.
Story of D-Day. Who wouldn't? Wow. That's great.
I mean, these hadn't even been opened. These were creaking when I opened them. I was like, man, they didn't even read them.
If you opened me up, I'd creak. What are you talking about?
Look at this.
Story of the Statue of Liberty. Wow. Mm-hmm.
Let's see, what date is this? And it's got white pages. There might be a slide up the very top where they were in the bookshelf that the light hit it just barely.
Light or air.
This is when you were born, Rex, 1965.
Mm-hmm. 60 years old. Wow.
It looks brand spanking new. I mean, that was the main reason I got them. And then I started looking at them, and I would have got them anyway because they were so cool. I mean, you got everything from the story of the Constitution.
That's cool. And they're about all the same length, I guess?
Yes, they're all the same
Page
size.
count?
I mean, they're all pretty much.
How many pages in one of those?
Okay, let's look here.
If they numbered the pages.
They did. Let's see here. There's about 28. Well, counting these, there's 30 pages.
Okay. So kind of just bite-sized books for probably produced for kids, right?
Yeah, and they're chock full of information,
Mm-hmm.
Then they just keep going, bro.
Mount Vernon, so cool. Yeah, I'd love to read some of those. Absolutely.
I mean, if you're just think about it, if you had kids and they were going to do a report on something, like let's say the teacher says, "We need to do a report on the Alamo,"
Apex is going to watch Superman tomorrow. Well, I hope you enjoy it.
I do. Hope you enjoy it. Then you go in and you start talking about things like this.
Story of the Capitol. Cool. Nice little set. I mean, no telling what these cost when they came out. Supreme Court. Wow.
They're hardback. They're real nice.
Right. I mean, for $3 for the whole set. And how many books was in the set?
Well, let's see. I can see we've
I think
looked
you told
at.
me maybe 15. I'm not sure.
We've looked at 11. Yes, there's 15, Rex. You're right.
Story of Old Ironsides. Oh, cool.
I like that. Those covers are dope.
So those
I
kind of
mean,
ran
we
up
even
to the
go.
probably mid 60s up to like maybe the mid 70s for a while.
Yeah,
Maybe
that's
maybe
about what
one a
they
year
did.
or something.
I don't even know if I got the whole set. See, I don't even know. I'd have to look it up, but I
Right.
don't even know if they're
Story of
numbered.
Lincoln Memorial. That's cool. There was a deal, Apex. $3 for all those books. You learn a lot about
Look at
history. Story of the White House. That's cool. They probably got it. You know, the British burned the White House
I'm
at
sure
one
there's
point.
all kinds of good information in these.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the last one.
Conestoga.
Wraparound cover. Look
What
at
is
those
it?
horses.
Mm-hmm. What is the
Pretty
title
cool.
of that one?
The
Conestoga.
Conestoga wagon.
Conestoga wagon. Okay. Interesting.
Yes. The Conestoga. Whatever, however you say it, I don't know. That was a nice little set, you know.
Absolutely. For $3, hell yeah, you can't. You know,
And I
one
picked them
litmus
up
test
like
said, if I was going to
15
print
years
that
ago.
today, how much would it cost me? A lot. More than
Not to
$3.
mention,
One of those
not to
books is
mention,
worth $3,
well, I got them
much
about
less 15 of them.
15 years ago. I'd gone in a estate sale, and on that bookshelf, all those books were there, and they were like together, looked new. I said,
Mhm.
"How much for these books?" He goes, "Well, we was getting a quarter a piece for them, and I tell you what, you give me $3, you can have them."
Wow.
But that was probably about the same price. I didn't care.
Elsie's
$3.
charmed when it comes to that type of stuff, just like my cousin. If we went out looking for arrowheads, he could see 30 feet ahead. One time, I kid you not, we found not even dust on it, silver coin. All I can think is that maybe somebody had it in their pocket, a farmer out there, and it dropped out of their pocket. It was an 18 something silver dollar.
Wow.
And he sees that from about 20, 30 feet away, you know, glistening in the
Eyesight
sun.
of an eagle.
I'm telling you, man, I never stood a chance. I rarely found a little bird point when I went with him. He would come back with spearheads and all kinds of stuff. And I'm like, man, he was just so charmed at that type of stuff. And you are too, when you find this stuff and it's like, yeah, I give it to you.
I don't know. Have you ever seen one of these, Rex?
I have now. Cyberfrog, signed by Ethan Van Sciver.
It's the ultimate.
I think Shadowhawks probably.
It says the ultimate Cyberfrog blood honey.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty thick
And
book.
where did you come up with that, or do you even remember?
Picked it up on eBay.
Okay, on his eBay store. Okay, or somebody's eBay store. He does have an eBay store, you know, where he sells stuff like that.
I saw it on eBay, and I think it was him.
Silver embossed there. I think he did like different embossed ones, like gold, and yeah, few years ago, a couple years ago.
Like I didn't see very many of these, you know. But like
he sells his overages.
20. I might see 20 tomorrow. Who knows?
Mm. Well, I mean, any of those are going to be lower print run.
Yeah.
Were there any books when you were collecting off rack or something? Any books that you didn't? Any titles that you didn't get on your spinner rack? Because I was mentioning earlier, I didn't see X-Men for years.
Oh, I didn't either.
And eventually a grocery store came in that had a spinner rack, and I think it was a Kroger at the time, and I think later it changed to Piggly Wiggly, which is came out of Memphis, I think, or I know Memphis had some Piggly Wigglies.
Now,
grocery
see, I
store.
was like you, Rex. When I started reading those war comics, I was looking for the next month, the next week, whatever,
Mhm.
you know, and that's what I went looking for. And I was like, oh, yeah, here's an 80-page giant. I just was getting what I saw and liked. I wasn't looking for, I didn't know any titles. I mean, I was just looking for cool looking covers and
Yeah.
books I thought I could
And
read and thick
and we
ones
need to
that I
be
know.
looking in the wild now wherever we go, because apparently there's DC's reprinting some of this stuff. Who knows if these reprints are ever going to be worth anything, but they do have these stands out there. This was the first stand that they came out with, and I was fortunate enough to get the stand and the header and the whole nine works, some of the books or all the
Well,
books.
even if the books, I mean, you could replace them with books that are, because I mean, the stands.
Oh yeah,
work
that's kind of what I did here. All
fine.
these are like Silver Age or Golden Age,
I'm
whatever
just
back
saying the
there.
stand is very useful. I mean, whether
Oh
you
yeah.
got anything good, I mean, you probably would cost you more for a stand than it would for all those books if you
Well,
had to
I
buy
didn't find
one.
I didn't find the treasure comics, but I did find some books to show today. Um, and if we can get Rolling Man on, I will. This is something that Rolling Man came out with from Adventure Comics back in the day, and Demon Tales. So we got Demon Tales. He had 3 tails there.
Wow.
Kind of an interesting looking character. And I've
Bizarre
shown
looking.
these when I've had Roland on before,
But I didn't see them. And I bet you
Yeah, I don't know
everybody hadn't
where
seen 'em.
I picked these up at, to tell you the truth. I've had them
We
so
know,
long.
Rex. It's like you said. Well, I know you've seen them, and I've seen things over and over between us. But there's a lot of people that hadn't seen the stuff. Some of the stuff we've shown, like these.
Oh,
I've
absolutely.
never seen those, but I'm sure some people have, and some people hadn't. So it's not like a repeat,
Right.
and we're not sitting here doing a whole show about it.
Well, you were talking about, showing those books there. Here is a Classics Illustrated special issue, The Story of America.
I love those classics,
And
junior
look
classics.
how thick that thing
Oh
is,
man, you got
for
a
35
book.
cents.
I could probably look over here, man. Them big, thick, man. Those are the deal, man. You can,
Mm-hmm.
and if you had a book report and you could find, say, the book you had in a comic,
Mm-hmm.
man, you had it made.
Often a lot of people did. Here's another one that I know you'd probably want to add to your collection. 35 cents again. That has a little sticker over it, so I don't know if it had, like, maybe this is a second series, and they had a cheaper price, and then they just put like a 35-cent sticker on top of it, and this was maybe a second issue. Huh?
But sometimes the stores would do that.
Yeah. Well, maybe. I mean, but
depends on
God's
the
Heroes
sticker.
in America.
That looks like something they did. That sticker, because it doesn't look like a store.
Well, maybe. I mean, it's round, little round sticker.
Yeah, it could have been, because
I
that's
don't know
old.
if I peeled that off, if it would say 35 cents underneath it or
I
lower.
wouldn't peel it off. No, that's history.
Now,
got
some of
something that
these I've
old.
actually, in full disclosure, this is an incomplete. It is missing some of the interior, but I've actually bought some just for the covers. Fight Comics, number 58, 52 pagers, which this is not going to have 52 pages, but
Wow,
still a nice book.
got a nice cover.
Don't know
on
if the wraps that are missing,
display nice.
not too bad. Yeah, display nice, right? Looney Tunes, still 10 cents. So this one's an older one.
We know I love them comics. I got a bunch.
I had a
I
long
love
run
it.
with Dale, up to the early 60s. And then
I've got a
for some
huge
reason, a lot of
run.
these Dale titles Dale was on the way out and they canceled, So,
those of that film strip look really cool.
I had a couple nice female English and lit teachers. One not nice, but they had Classic Illustrated Comics in the back of the class. That's cool.
Sweet, yeah.
Yeah.
I brought comics to my kids. I had to make sure there wasn't a bunch of weird ones, you know.
This is something that I picked up when I and John Fernandez, who drew Devil Choir, we've
Up
been
there,
friends since we've been friends longer than Elsie. Now I've had more interaction with Elsie than I have John. In fact, I haven't seen John in a while, even though he's my neighbor, a couple blocks away. I need to find the time for him and see him. You know, can't wait to give him all his Devil Choir
kind
stuff.
of works both ways. He can reach out to you.
But we went.
Oh, yeah.
The first comic shop I went to was Memphis Comics and Records.
Yeah.
Except
Good
for
one.
our comic shop that we started, because I started the
Right,
first comic
right,
shop. And I and Dave Snow together, and then I and Dave and John went over. And I think this was the first time when we went over there that I picked this up. Memphis Comics newsletter. They had printed their own newsletter. You bought it for 60 cents, 1982. This survived my fire, because trying to find one of these things, you probably couldn't. But it's like, what if the X-Men, Memphis Comics and Records tried to cash in on the X-Men? That's the title of it. Because the X-Men
they
were
did.
hot with John Byrne and stuff. So there's the creators, you know, the
That's
people
cool.
who ran Memphis Comics.
I like it.
And this
Looks
is
like
their
one dude's
newsletter from
rolling one.
1982.
Is that
Huh?
dude sitting down in the middle, Rex? See that dude sitting down? Is he rolling one up?
No, he's just looking at the cash bundle.
Oh, okay.
They had one half comics and one half vinyl records. And you went to Memphis Comics and Records. I know you do. It's been closed for years now.
Yeah, Bob Burden. Didn't Bob Burden do Flaming Carrot?
Yes.
I got a signed one. Several signed Bob Burden's comics. I like them.
Old 10-cent comic number 25, Hopalong Cassidy from Fawcett Publications. And I had this in there. This actually has an article on Jack Adler, and he's even mentioned here on the cover. Neil Adams cover.
Howard Stern, Joe
Howard
Kubert,
Stern,
Neil
Joe Kubert,
Adams,
Neil Adams,
Reuben Schuster, and
Jerry
Siegel.
Siegel, and Joe Schuster. Yeah.
I almost picked up
Alter
they had
Ego.
a magazine, a Superman magazine that just came out showing the history of Superman, you know.
Steve Ditko's Mr. A.
Yeah, I got one over here.
Okay, I don't think you'll have to show it because you've got the same one I do,
but
which
you
is
know, I'm just saying,
which
I
is
got
right
not
here,
that
right?
one.
Yours
That's
looks
the
like
one I
this.
got.
Yeah, I knew
Yeah.
it. Yeah, I
Of
think
course
you.
did.
I think
Ordered that from Robert.
I think you kind of turned me on to Mr. A through Robert. Yeah, and I got a copy. Black Magic was terrifying and weird. Never heard of Steve Ditko's Mr. A. Oh man, yeah, there's some stuff out there. Those Alter Ego magazines are pretty cool. Yeah. Roy Thomas started Alter Ego as a fanzine back in the 60s. Here's one that's pretty cool. Sports for Reals. Partial photo cover. LB Coe cover. One of the great artists that did some of the greatest Golden Age covers of all time. LB Coe. 1950s. Good, very good. Missing pages, it says, unfortunately. First 4 interior pages missing, incomplete. Accepted reprint number 11 shows number 15 on the outer cover. So doing a little wacky, but sports thrills. So incomplete, but very nice partial photo covers, because those are kind of photos and then colored.
Baseball. Who are those players? Are they well known?
They've got their signatures there, but it's very hard to. Yeah, I don't know. And one of my I've got 2 Underworld Crime. Love this logo here. This is number 5. Golden Age.
Yeah.
Look at the coloring on that.
Yeah.
Love the logo though, going both ways.
That purple and yellow.
Mm-hmm. And an early Spirit from Vital Book, 10 center.
Ooh, yeah. Little
It
grease
does
pencil, but they don't count off
1945,
that.
no number, but this would have been like the third issue to come
That
out.
grease pencil, is that grease pencil like an N or? Yeah. I mean, that ain't gonna count off, you know. Usually
Well, what
not too
really hurts this one, and I gave $47.87 for it, which I think by now it's probably a pretty good price. It has a tear here on the cover. You can see, but still
right.
in decent shape, you know.
Well, I mean, you got a good example. I mean,
Good
you know,
example.
You're not,
Right.
You're not collecting the whole
And
run.
I got
you're
my
trying
damn
to get
dirty
some-
thing. Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
I'll have to.
That makes-
I have to put that on
Man,
my
we got-
short list to read.
Hey man, we got 2 of those, Rex. We got double copies. Only for Superman or something else. That magazine I saw, if you're talking about the magazine, Superman, it was like a look, or it wasn't a look, but it was a magazine sitting on the stands at Walmart. It was $15, and it was the history of Superman. It goes back, and it's comic. The book, I almost bought it, but that was like expensive, man.
It's probably what, $16? Probably.
I can't, with tax, it would have been.
Mm-hmm.
I said, nah, not right now. I'll go buy some canvases.
Def Leppard released their song Animal 38 years ago, 1987.
When did dude lose his? When did dude have his? Didn't he have a motorcycle wreck and lost his?
Don't know.
Leg, an arm, something. The drummer.
The Client, the movie, opened up in theaters 31 years ago, 1994. The Client. I don't know that I've seen that. Susan Sarandon. Wow. Yeah. Tommy Lee Jones. That sounds like a Tom Clancy movie to me. A View to a Kill, Duran Duran, 1985, on top of the charts.
Yeah.
Back in 1985. Raspberry Beret by Prince, number 2. Every Time You Go Away, Paul Young. You Give Good Love, Whitney Houston, number 4. Studio. Huh?
I have to say something. And it's maybe out of concern. It may be no big deal. Maybe, I'm just wondering because I've looked through the chat and I haven't seen Carrie. I wonder what's going on. Is she doing okay? Okay. Don't know either. I was just let it, just thought I'd mention it,
Well, I guess she sent me a couple links earlier.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess she's doing all right. That's good. Just want to make sure she's okay.
Yeah. Carrie's been in the chat.
Hey, Carrie, I didn't want to ignore you. I was looking for you. I didn't see you in there. I guess I didn't go back far enough.
She says, I'm here. Sorry for worrying you.
Well, I'm not worried. I just,
we got Paul Monsky in here. We got Paul Boom, Paul Monsky.
Yeah, man. We got
he's one of the creators that follow me. Hey, Paul.
Sheldon Martin's in there.
Hey, Sheldon. Good to see you. Yeah, Paul Monsky's one of the creators that follow me on Facebook. Like I say, I don't do Facebook that often.
But hey,
but I've been reaching out to some creators.
Just try to reach out to every platform.
Absolutely. I mean, it's already paid off. I got Mike Gustovich, and he will be, just to reiterate, he'll be joining us August 2nd again on the Rex Hex and Apex show for a while.
Oh, he will.
So that'll be cool. I know Apex will have questions for Mike Gustovich, and because he was like into Power Comics and probably
yeah.
Cobalt Blue and the Justice Machine back in the day.
You give me a second, I'll find that cover he remarked. I got it around here, sitting around somewhere.
Okay, that's cool.
I'm just saying it might be pretty cool to see if he's coming on.
So very glad we can get him on again. Talk to him further.
Man, we need
about
to
his work.
remember all that. I mean, I know I'm an old guy too, but we need to remember those guys, like, you know, that dedicated. That's what they dedicated their life to, and they were successful. They may not have got famous, but you know what? Most artists aren't going to get famous till they're dead, and sometimes not even then. You know.
Well, I mean, most
they're
people,
still
if you
good.
polled them, they don't know who Jack Kirby is. They might know who Stan Lee is because of the movies, and a lot of
And
people
they
wouldn't even
probably
know who
know
Stan
who-
Lee is. So if
Right.
those or Steve Ditko for that matter, if those three greats aren't remembered by the American culture, but they did the majority of the work here in the States, you know,
Yeah.
and did so much great stuff, they're not
Innovators.
remembered. How are lesser names that came around later? I mean, if you said Neil Adams, a lot of people wouldn't know who that is.
No,
It's sad,
no.
you know.
Yeah, it is sad.
Bob Dylan released his song "Like a Rolling Stone" 60 years ago in 1965, the year I was born.
Rolling Stone.
Like a Rolling Stone, yeah. He still looked clean cut in
It's
1965.
in this stack, but it could be
Well, you keep looking, bro.
pretty good books,
It's-
man. Man, I don't know, but man, I grew up looking at these books, people. I don't know if y'all like them, but you know, if they're
Well,
in decent
Rick
shape, you know,
Rick Piper from Cross Comics, he started out on reading Archie comics.
number 42. I mean, no,
Check
number
out his
62,
campaign over on Find My Comic, the Canadian
55.
Shield. We had him on not too long ago, and he's wanting to come on again. Okay, this is one of the latter issues of the Tarzan family, which was an oversized giant at this time. Joe Kubert cover there. Very cool. Gorak, son of Tarzan, I think. Gorak. Witching Hour, yeah, that's a Luis Dominguez cover.
Louise.
Very cool.
Another one I can't help it, man, but you know, This Life with Archie, it's a 10 center. It's a very early issue.
Well, I said that I would not buy you know, any Archies, you know, when I was a younger collector, but there was a guy that's selling these giant Archies from the Silver Age for like $1 a piece on eBay years ago, and I bought a bunch of Archie stuff at that
Well, see,
price.
it's like the borders, you know, so reminiscent of Sergio Gomez.
Right, and what he was doing in Mad Magazine, yeah, you can tell these are
And
old
look,
Silver Age Archies. Archie going back to 1939, I believe. First
look at
appearance.
that
Plop.
border. Plop number 13.
I put that one aside
See,
because
look,
I'm
I just
actually
jump
looking.
around.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Is that the one that was
what do you
drawn
need?
on?
What?
That's Jim Starlin. You're not going to slow down for anything, are you?
I will. I
Okay.
was looking. You said drawn on. I don't know what was drawn on.
His eyes, maybe. I don't know. You had one, or maybe the mouth. I don't know if it's drawn on.
Yeah.
Or not.
Okay. Yeah. This is the one he has his eyes drawn on, man.
Okay. I picked that one. I said put that plop aside because we need to look in the interior. I'm trying to identify some artwork.
Okay.
So make
Got
sure
some
you don't lose that one
Wally
in the stack.
Wally Wood artwork.
All right, you're going. Okay. Wally Wood cover. Okay. Probably Sergio Agone has artwork like you were saying around the edge there.
I'll set it over here, man.
Okay. Yeah, we need to look in that. I've got most of your plops. If I didn't
See, I
send them
just
back
keep
to you, I think
going,
I sent them
man.
back
As
to you.
always, I
Pebbles
don't
and
care. I
Band. Yeah, I
read
got
this. I grew up reading this because when I was
Charlton.
growing up, when I started reading things, if I had illustrations, it made it far more interesting to me.
Mhm.
You know, and
Yeah,
you get
Robin
these
Williams' birthday. Yeah.
little doodads here.
Yeah. Digest. These are some of the
Yeah.
few comics, those Archie Digests that you find at grocery store checkouts.
I know this
Blood of My
was
Ancestors.
interesting.
Yeah, we've got this as the last Gil Kane artwork is in this book, and the last John Buscema, because John Buscema took it over after Gil Kane passed away, and then he passed away, and then Kevin Nolan had to finish the book. That's Kevin Nolan cover, an Elseworlds book, and we've actually got some artwork to that book,
Yes, we do. We even
preliminary
got cover
drawings that he did
artwork.
for that.
Robert actually has the cover illustration. It's not fully illustrated, but he's got
Gary
it
sent you a
matted.
picture. Oh yeah, that's a Mike Mignola cover there that created
Elsie, I
Hellboy.
know you like to paint and give to church. Elsie sent you a pic show. Such a cheap idea for you with your campaign. Maybe an Elsie for his gift. He's out in
I bought a few
Milgram's,
of these.
man.
I think I have that issue there, Mike
Yeah,
Mignola on the cover.
I got to see. You know, it's like this. I figured out when I was
Thank you,
buying
Carrie.
when I was buying from Clobbering Time.
Oh, I know that. I have
He,
that one. That's
he would
great
be
cover.
he would be selling these books for $2 a piece, and he'd go through all these books, and nobody would even bite. He'd lower the price, they still wouldn't bite. You know. And then it got to where I'll give you this for all of them and be like 50 cents a piece, man.
Early appearance of the UFOs here, not the first appearance, but nice Mike Mignola cover with
Early.
the UFOs. I love them. They're kind of a villainous. They've influenced some of the villains that I've created.
Looks like he's gassing the Hulk up.
She is, yeah, because she's a Viper or something. Yeah.
See, look at all these I got, man. I mean, these Hulks, man.
Yeah, I bought some Hulks from like 1983 on eBay, and all but like 3 of them were Mark Jewelers. Out of 11, all of them were Mark Jewelers except for
See, I
3
hadn't
issues.
even checked these. I don't even know where they would be. I'd have to compare it to.
Always check your comics, folks, because they may be military issued Mark Jeweler variants, and those in good shape command a higher price, especially if they're key issues.
And I can tell you on the ones, if the older ones, at least that I know of, like they would have a star printed right about where my pinky is.
I've
right
got
here.
some that have that star on there. I always wondered what that meant.
I got that big stack. I don't know what title it was, but every one were Mark Jewelers, and every one of them had the star on it. I mean, wouldn't you get these for 50 cents a piece, especially when they're in probably very fine near mint condition?
If
I mean,
I had
we're
the
not
money,
talking
yeah,
about.
that's a big
Well,
possibility.
I'm talking about back if you can get them for 50 cents back in the day when we'd sell something, we'd buy something.
Yeah, I mean, I just bought the books. Like that's a Sienkiewicz cover, I believe. Eric
Pretty
and Boyd
wicked.
says, I know it is important collectors regarding all that, Rex, but my goal is to get comics and I can afford and read. Yeah, that's why I bought those Hulks, because I had read some there. There we go. I was talking about that earlier. Super Villain Classics, Galactus, The Origin. I think I gave you that one. If you didn't buy another copy somewhere else, Bob Layton
I
cover.
may have, but I still got.
Everybody
I know
should
you
have
gave
that.
me one.
Definitely good deals, Elsie. Yeah, I mean, that's all I was doing was buying some that I had or know was a pretty
You
good
remember
run on.
this, bro?
Okay, I'm going to give up trying to talk. Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
It's fine. It's fine.
No, it's not. I'm sorry, buddy.
I'm just trying to explain to Eric that
Okay,
Uh,
my bad.
I just
Eric,
bought
sorry,
them,
bud.
trying, knew they would be good. And I wound up with Mark Jewelers. I didn't buy them because I knew they were Mark Jewelers. That was a
Right.
happy accident, and
Yes.
I
Hey, I did too, brother.
sometimes you wind up with deals, Eric. I just buy what I like, and sometimes you get Mark Jewelers. Sometimes I've gotten autographed books
Oh, I
on the
remember what they
inside,
were. Yeah.
huh?
Mine were
Sometimes with multiple
Tarzans. You
autographs.
remember all those Tarzans I got? Every single one of them. The guy offered like 15 Tarzans for $20. I said, "Oh yeah, they're all Bronze Age. They're nice. They're not bent up." I said, "Well, yeah."
I'm not
And then
yelling. I'm not yelling at you, Eric. I'm just getting
we're
loud.
sorry if we think don't man. You got to be don't easy, man. We're just guys routing, running around.
Okay, you were
talking.
talking about the Tarzans before you get
Well, I was
off on
saying
another
every one of
rabbit
those
hole.
when I got them, like you
Mhm.
said, every
Mhm.
one of them had the star. Every one was a Mark variant, a Mark Jewel variant.
Okay, I might
I
have to
didn't
check
know.
out those. I don't
I,
know if the ones that I
I
have a star on are Mark
but I'm just saying, even if they're
Jeweler or
Mark
not, but maybe.
Jewelers, they're worth something. I didn't know they
Okay,
were. That wasn't why I bought them either. But they
yeah.
make the comic last longer if they got
Yeah,
the
I didn't get much
cardboard
for those
insert.
Hulks. I mean, they were affordable. I can't remember what I gave. Maybe.
But you remember we're getting these.
Oh yeah, those would come with the 10 packs in the
We're
box.
selling these. We're just making our money back on these, man.
Yeah, I would actually sell some of those little booklets that would show the whole line of cars that you could get.
I think it'd be like $10 a piece we'd get for it when we did
I don't know
sell it.
what I
We
used to
couldn't.
get for them, but I never got $10. Maybe you did, but I never did. Yeah, this is actually colored here, probably with color pencils. I'm not sure what he used, but by George Perez. George Perez
Yeah.
was doing these neat colors, on
It says
some of
origin and third appearance of X Hal, Starfire versus Blackfire to the death. Well,
Yeah, it
I
was
gotta
only a
see
one-shot issue that came out in 1993, I believe, with the Origin of
annual.
Galactus. Definitely worth
Number one
adding to
annual.
your collection.
Says it's the number one annual.
Oh, that's cool. Big, big swastika on that one, huh?
With
Couple of them, the shadow of the swastika too.
Yeah, hanging down on it.
Markers and color pencils
I
for
like
George
these.
Perez. Yeah, there you go.
Now see
Yeah.
that
Now this one
one
you're
I
holding up.
sold.
This one
Yeah.
you're holding up. Okay. This is an early direct. You can tell because the barcode's crossed out and it's got the diamond up there. But even more importantly, at least to me, just put that to the side for a second. Let me show you. I know it doesn't look like it, but on my campaign, I actually used that cover as one of the inspirations and
Cool.
told John to.
Actually, that was the last book.
Okay. We'll keep that one
Out of
handy.
the
Let me bring
stack
up
I
the
had.
campaign real quick and I'll tell you I'll show you what I'm talking about here.
And if I have to go in the living room and get that Mike Gustovich cover, I will. I think it's in there because it was something I had up for sale. I think Star Slayer. First appearance of Grimjack. Devil Fly.
So over on Fun My Comic, here's the, let's see, I don't know if it's going to bring up everything or not, the images.
Yeah, what you got going? What kind of deals you got, man? Might have to find me a deal. How much is that now, John Flanday's cover?
You mean the original artwork to it?
Yeah.
All right. Before we change the subject, you see the
I'm
character,
sorry.
you see Devil Flyer there with no hair and his hands up the air there on the right
Oh, is that him?
on this 2-page spread.
It says freak underneath it.
I didn't want any detail in that, but now go ahead and hold that comic up that George Perez cover that you had.
Not the George Perez or this one.
Yes, that is George Perez cover right there. This is
Okay.
more what I was going for, but now he put a face in it and everything. But I was going for this same kind of pose, you know. This
Yeah, I'll do you
inspired
one.
that, huh?
I'll do you a pose like that. I'll hook you up, buddy. Just
I
let me know.
appreciate that. I don't need that now. I've actually got it
Well,
in
I
my
mean,
book.
not
I was
now,
just
but I'm
saying
saying you
you
probably
can
need
see
something
that
else.
you didn't quite get it, and he put detail in the face. I just wanted like an outline, but this is what I wound up with. But you know, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's fine. But that was the inspiration for that nice little bit there. Uh, yeah, he George Perez used markers and colored pencils to on some of the Titan covers in that giant size annual. Yeah, you'll have to show us that Gustovich at another time, Elsie.
That's fine, bro. Wouldn't take me a second to run in there and get it. But I'm just thinking since he might be on and he has been on yours,
Mm-hmm.
something up there. I'm up.
Here, I want to show you. You know, it's signed. No, we can't see that signature unless it's quite large and
Yeah.
in gold or silver. It's
Gotcha.
just signatures don't show up that well. Remarks hardly show up. You know, when you try and show them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know you got into like autographs and things like that of different creators. I know Elsie's always hitting me up for, you know, do you know this creator? And a lot of the creators he's got signatures of I've never heard of.
Well,
Some I
I'm
have.
like you though. I ask you a lot of times before I even get a signature. You know, like Tony Isabella. You probably don't know about him. Black Lightning.
I know some about. I mean, Tony Isabella. He's kind of like a inker primarily.
But he created Black Lightning. He's at least
Oh
his.
yeah. Oh, or no, yeah. Okay, storyteller. All right, writer.
But
Yeah.
you know, and what I'm saying is, you don't know much about him. But I like me. I don't mind that comic is probably it's a pretty one sought after because it's probably one of the first black heroes that really made it decent. You know.
Yeah.
And I think he was a black writer. And this guy sold a whole set except for number one, signed by him, cheap. And I got the number one in my collection. I said, well, why don't I just take that number one? I'll have 1 through 10 collect the first set collected, 1 through 10, and 9 of them are signed. Because I guarantee you, if you couldn't get $8 for that man's book and signature, then you could, especially if you let
Very
time.
nice lettering, Carrie. This is painting on a CD
Oh,
there.
did she do that? That's cool,
Yes,
girl.
sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you like hand letter that, or did you like have press on? What the heck? It looks like you hand lettered that.
Hand
Yeah,
lettered.
I could
Looks
tell
like
when I
hand
blow it
done to
up.
me.
Very nice.
That's the way I'd like it.
Mhm.
Hand done's a lot more personal
Tony
and
Isabella
creative.
is now claiming to transition and is going by the name Jenny Blake. I'm not joking. He's 70 something years old and doing that. Whatever. Yeah.
So
Did
he's got
lettering
to
by
be
hand. Yeah.
tripping then.
Once I blew it up. Hey, Mike.
Well, I wish I'd have known that before I invested in him, Eric. Well, you didn't have to tell me that.
Well,
Made
yeah.
me
I mean,
feel bad.
he when he was doing the convention circuit, I was told that he was like, "Yeah, I'm the creator or co-creator of whatever." I mean, yeah, he's transitioning. My God,
That's crazy.
the world has gone
Maybe
crazy.
we'll have a burning. Especially brought to you by
That's a
Momentum
great
Comics.
payoff for one's investment. Burn it.
No kidding. I best thing to do is turn around and sell it and get your money back.
Yeah, I
You know?
didn't know that about Tony Isabella. Might be another idea for you instead of pizza rounds that you can buy blank ones cheap at dollar stores. Yeah, I mean, and do designs and actually print labels out that you can stick on those. It's You have a great idea to do the original artwork and then mass produce that stuff. You know, that's how Durer with his
Well, that's how
etchings became
people,
rich.
most artists, if think of comics, do that.
Mhm. Yeah. It's great to sell an original item and make one sell, but let's reproduce that thing and sell as many as we can, right?
Rex, I showed you my metal PT 109, didn't I?
Oh yeah. I picked up a
Okay.
few things at Dollar Tree like that. Just haven't.
No,
I'm
this is
hoping to get back into
this is
some
a
painting.
this is a bigger toy, man.
What is it now?
A PT 109, you know, Kennedy's boat,
Mm-hmm.
and it's metal. This guy had it at a collector's store.
Wow. All put together, huh? I actually did a book report on a book that talked about that. That is cool. PT boats, not just Kennedy's, but is that actual rust on it? Is it?
Yes, it's old, man.
Wow. Have a date or
I
any
didn't
markings on it? Who might have made that?
Oh, but it had wheels on it. I hadn't examined it.
Uh-huh.
Let's see. Let's see here. Made in Japan.
Well, yeah, that's definitely going back, because if they made something like that today, it would say made in China, more than likely.
Yeah. Look at this.
A lot of
man.
things made in Japan, Taiwan, and Hong Kong back in the day.
The little
That's
gun
kind
comes
of more like the tin toys, huh?
Yeah.
What is it?
This little gun pops up above that thing, drops down.
Mhm. That's what all the little PT boats, which were made out of wood, I think. A lot of those destroyed in World War II.
Oh yeah, man. This stuff, kids play with these and they get tossed, man.
There was a movie about PT 109, that Kennedy story, and back in the early 60s, and I guess after Kennedy became president, Cliff Robertson, who looks nothing like Kennedy, really played Kennedy
Right.
in that movie. A good movie, worth a watch. Anyway, we're going to get out of here. I got to work tonight in a little bit, about an hour. Go clock in.
About an hour.
Yeah.
Have
Take
a good
Abby
one,
with
man.
me.
Don't work it too hard.
Don't know where I'm going to go yet, but it's always an adventure, not knowing.
You don't even know how long you're going, do you?
Don't know how long I'm going till I get there. Yeah. I just hope they don't send me back to Pocahontas on the west side, because it's like roller coaster. I did last time. I threw up. I got motion sickness, and I kind of went and did the straightaway, and then I ran out of the straightaway and went back to that and got sick again, and went back to the straightaway to throw up. I don't know. I was, by the end of that night, I was ready just to die. I was like, headed back home about 10 minutes earlier. I don't know, 5 minutes early, whatever, and sprayed my way out. It's like, I'm getting out of here. I can't take anymore. It's, I was using my Garmin, and maybe I was looking at that too much. You're with motion sickness, your eyes can't track the movement too well, and you get nauseated. Well, I threw up 10 times that night. It was pitiful. I wrote on my paperwork afterwards. I said, please don't send me here anymore. And I've done it and not gotten sick. I ate some chips and it didn't agree with me. Maybe that was it. Maybe I was looking at the Garmin, but I think the time before that I was looking at the Garmin and didn't get sick. Maybe it's just because I had those chips on my stomach. I don't know, but it wasn't a pretty sight. Didn't like it.
But you should tell them, you don't want barf in your truck, don't send me that.
I didn't barf in the truck, thankfully. I've done worse, but that's another story for another day. Keep collecting.